Hey, what's up everyone? I'm here to give my unboxing and initial shots review of the PSA Sabre Dagger in the M81 Woodland Camo. And before I do that, I just want to give a little shout out to GFR Range here in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It's a small-owned family gun store. They got a great selection. They're very knowledgeable, really helpful, and if you're in the area and you want to support them, I'd say go ahead and do it. They won't let you down. A good group of people out there. Now, let's jump into the unboxing. So, of course, you get the firearm, and I'll do the same thing that everyone does. I'll unload, show clear for the video. And, yeah, so you get the firearm. Mine's in the M81 Woodland, as I mentioned before. The Hollow Sun optic does not come on it. You get two 17 with the +5 and a cool little Sabre logo there. Let me see if I can focus on that. Come on, there it is. Yeah, so you get the cool little Sabre logo down there. And then I'll actually move on to the range bag, which is a pretty nice change of pace. I know a lot of people, myself included, order, $800 to $1,000 guns, and you don't get anything but a cardboard box they come in. Obviously, we're not buying the gun for the box, but it is nice that they send a range bag that's got holders for your mags. You can put your cleaning kit in there, and then, of course, you can put the pistol itself in this guy right here. So, yeah, it's definitely a nice change of pace in the gun world. I hope other companies follow suit with that. Now, getting into the gun, we'll look at the frame first. I really do like the M81 Woodland there. I think that really makes this gun pop. So that's pretty cool. I like that. The stippling on the pistol grip here could be a little bit sharper. Like, I almost prefer it when it digs into your hand a little bit and you'll have no motion. However, after a couple shots on this gun, it really does feel like, it does grab to your hand quite well. You're not having to readjust your grip. Your hands certainly don't slide around at all, which is, what you want when you're shooting something. But yeah, so far, I'm really liking this custom stippling they got. Moving up to the slide, you got some windows here cutting your slide, which is a cool feature. But also, this stippling up here, or this cross kind of pattern, it's still plenty, even with the window here, it's still plenty that your hands won't slide around when you go to do a brass check. If you want to grab it from the front, you want to John Wick that shit. It looks cool. It's still plenty of stippling there. It's easy to do. Of course, you get the Sabre logo right there, 9x19 on the top of the barrel, which is another kind of cool feature. I like how they threw that on there. And the sights, as you can tell, are co-witness, so you can go through the glass with your optic. And there's suppressor height, right? So you can screw a suppressor onto this, which I can do if you guys want to see. You can put a suppressor on it and you can see still over the top of the suppressor, which is cool. It's a nice little feature, especially because, let's be honest, it's a Glock clone, right? That's what it is. But it's a Glock clone with everything that you'd want to do to a Glock already in the package for the price of a Glock. So, you have your flared magwell. You have your flat face trigger, which is nice. We can get into showing the wall and the take up and the brake on that and the reset. We'll get into all that here in a second. But it's pretty much everything that you'd want to do to a Glock out of the bag, and you just get on the range and you run it. So I have about 150 rounds through this gun right now, and that's not a lot by any stretch of the imagination, okay? So I just kind of wanted to be the first person to do a video on it, so that way everyone could see. I'm sure everyone's FFLs are contacting them and saying, like, hey, your gun's ready. But with it being a Wednesday right now, it's people are at their places of work. and they might be able to pick it up after work, but they won't be able to take it to the range. So, just letting the people know what to expect. And before we get into the first shots, I guess I'll show you that take up and the wall. So I do like the flat face trigger a lot. That's primarily what I put on all of my firearms, whether it be ARs or pistols. I like the flat face. I feel like it allows for less input on the trigger finger, to where, if you don't have enough of your finger on the trigger, you could pull your shot this way. If you have too much, you could push it. It feels like a good medium. And yeah, I'm a fan of the flat face trigger. Now, when we get into the actual shot, so here is your take up, and it's got that hinge there, so if you push too high, that's safety. But here's your take up, and then you hit a little bit of a wall, and then it goes. So it's nice and crisp overall. Reset is right there, and then a little bit of squish, and then you're back to your, I'd say 3.5 to 4 pounds. I don't have anything to actually pull it, so that's just my guess. But it's pretty crisp. I do like the trigger. I'm a fan of flat face, and this one feels pretty good. So now I'll go into my first 150 rounds through the gun. So I put a mix match of 9mm through it, all brass, so no aluminum, no steel cased, and I did have a couple failures. The first one was a failure to feed, and I don't want to say it's expected, but with this being their first run at the gun, and yeah, it made it through QA/QC and everything, but it's a brand new firearm. It hasn't been shot a lot. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys if you think that's acceptable or not, with it being, so new right out of the box, and absolutely zero lube. I didn't add anything to it. I took it out and I just started running it. So that's the first one. I had a failure to feed. The next one was a failure to extract, and I mean, it wasn't steel cased, it was brass. I guess the extractor just didn't grab it. I didn't have any more failures to feed, except for one. But this one, when I tell you it was a failure to feed, yeah, the gun didn't go into battery. It was stuck out about that far, and I'll drop pictures of this stuff. I documented everything as it happened on the range, so I can show you. But when I say it was a failure to feed, it was so slight that all I had to do was shake the gun a little bit, and then the upper slid into battery. So it's really, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide that. If that's something you find acceptable out of a new gun, I don't know, you be the judge. But overall, I do really like the gun. The price point, I think I paid $649 for it. So that's about what you're expecting to pay with a Glock. And yeah, I added the 407C on top, so add another $200. But we're still at sub $1,000 with a threaded barrel, nice stippling, your cuts in the slide, and your co-witness sights here. So all in, I'm still sub $1,000. If I wanted to add a flared magwell and all that other stuff to a Glock, I'd be at probably over $1,000 if I wasn't going through Blue Label. So overall, I am happy with it. It's a nice gun. I like the way it looks. I like the way it shoots. I think I just need to get out there and run it more. Maybe it's got just a small bit of spare metal somewhere up here where it's hanging up. It doesn't look like it, but I think the more I get out there and shoot it, the better it'll perform for me in the long run. And if you guys are expecting one, I think you will be pleasantly surprised with it. I think you'll like it. And if that's something you don't find acceptable, it's your money. That's what makes the gun community so great, is that it's Damn, I'm like that ATF guy. I can't get this thing back together. So it's like your money, and if the market doesn't respond well to it, then the company will either have to adapt or stop making it. But I do like this pistol a lot. It comes with some nice things. Those +5, yeah, that's another thing, is the +5s. You're not going to get that stock on you know, any Glock stuff. And I'm very partial to the Glock. I own 6 of them. So no shade towards them, but it's just that's not what you get stock when it comes with Glocks. So yeah, overall, I'm happy with it. I think you guys would be too if you bought one. If you're waiting for it, I think you'll be happy with it. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to be the first one to do a review. So I hope you guys enjoy. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to get those pictures of the malfunctions in the video. But if not, this is my first video, and I'm not a very good videographer. I guess that's what you call it. So if not, please excuse me, and just let me know. I'll try to get those pictures over to you. Thanks.